It all turned around in the second quarter with your defense. What did you do defensively to get them off their game so they couldn't get back on?
Well, I think one of the biggest priorities was transition defense. I mean, they really hurt us in game one. I think they only had one fast break point. That's where it started. I thought our urgency was phenomenal. Next play mentality both ways. They scored, we got out, had great transition, 20 fast break points, 19 fast break points on the game. And obviously, they're going to play through Jokic, Murray. Thought our pick and roll defense with DB and X was phenomenal. Obviously holding Jokic to 3 assists, that doesn't happen often, but I thought there was a lot of great discipline. They got good cutters, our rotations out to the 3-point line, trying to make his finishes as tough as possible, his entries as tough as possible, trying to wear him out as much as possible. Kudos to X. He's done a phenomenal job. Last 2 games against 2 of the best bigs in the game. But then I thought collectively our defense was really good, to set a tone in that first half. I think the first 3 quarters we held them below 22, 24 points. That was huge. But transition was a big key. And then obviously Jokic, his playmaking was something we talked a lot about this morning.
Taylor, you talked about the team getting their swagger back. Was this kind of a, I guess, I don't want to say culmination, but an example of kind of how these last few games have been kind of building for what you guys want to see?
Yeah, I mean, the whole mentality the last, 5-6 weeks of the season is just building to our best versions of ourselves. I think our guys have really embraced it, day one in practice. I thought we had that mentality. We had that swag. We had that trust. That's a big word that we've been using recently, what we've got to do to play our best basketball home and away. I thought we did that in Philly, just, didn't bounce our way last couple of minutes. But we put ourselves in a position to win a game there. And then tonight we came up with the same urgency, and I think we just clamped down on both sides. I thought the discipline, it starts with a mentality for sure when you go into games, but then I said, our discipline from our game plan, execution defensively has got to be on point, but then even offensively, knowing that they're going to be a heavy shift team. We scored 60 points in the paint, but we knocked down 15 threes. The ball movement, the energy, the trust on what we've got to do offensively was huge for us. So, just really proud of the guys. 4 days, but I said this is just continued growth, one day at a time. Keep trusting the process to what we got to do one day at a time to get better and the responding.
Taylor, so you get 10 threes off the bench between Tyus, Luke, and Santi, but it really just felt like the offense in the half court was really just flowing, even just beyond 3-point shooting. What was it that you noticed differently, especially with that second unit, and how that half-court offense just kind of kept the ball movement?
Yeah, I mean, Tyus was phenomenal tonight, super aggressive, obviously, coming out, knocking down early threes in the first half. Luke, getting acclimated with his team, just continuing to remind him to be super aggressive and do what he does best, be a playmaker and a knockdown shooter. But we've been telling the whole team, whether it's our starting unit, guys that come off the bench, it's the energy of our ball movement, our body movement. I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, Denver's going to be physical with you. They're going to deny entries. When we didn't have our first option, whether it was a post-up, a pick and roll, a dribble handoff, our guys were relocating and constantly moving around, knowing that they were going to be super aggressive, to wherever the ball was. And just that ball movement just opened up stuff for us. Josh sets a tone in transition, pushing the pace, guys running with him. He's coming off a pick and roll, scoring, dishing out to corner shooters. And then Tyus just picks that up, has 5 assists and obviously 17 points. And then when we can get that energy for 48 minutes, that's where we find our best offense.
Tyus had been struggling the past few weeks. Obviously, at this stage of his career, he's been through plenty of ups and downs. But when he came out, in the second quarter, after that big quarter, you sort of pounded your heart a little bit at him as he was walking by. Was that a game he really needed to get?
Yeah, I mean, it's kudos to him. Obviously, as you said, ups and downs are going to happen throughout the season. He's the ultimate pro. We had a great conversation this morning. He understood where he's at, performance-wise, got to play better and all that stuff. But I said, just keep trusting the work they've been putting in the last couple of days. I've seen it on the court. It's going to translate. He got extra work this morning. His vitamins the last couple of days, he's pushing himself in the vitamins, not knowing are his minutes going to be higher, they're going to be low, whatever it is. Go out and be aggressive and be ready. And he responded. So that's just, it was just my little reminder about how proud I was of what he's been doing on his own to stay ready, and the impact that he has on our team's success is substantial when he gives us that effort.
Hey, Coach, having 9-10 days off of the AllStar break is good and bad. You lose endurance, you lose the timing, and you lose, some of your timing you need. How long does it take after the AllStar break to get all this stuff back from being off for 10 days for some of the guys?
You'll love this one, just one day at a time. I can't put a magic spin on it. I mean, this is going to be our last stretch where we have 2 days in between games. How we're going to prioritize rest and work at the same time, competitive basketball with whatever it is, 23 games left in the season. But I've just been really focused on one day at a time, just our guys being locked in, finding our best version. It starts with our mentality, like I said. We've seen that in 4 days, not just in the games, but how we practiced day one, how we came in and watched film and had a great individual day. Guys are being locked in. We're going to be tested for sure, but the test is ourself, our best standards. So that's our focus. I hope it comes each and every day, just, to the direction that we need to be in, come the end of the season.
On that note, Taylor, can you say that this game is kind of a statement, or is it just too soon to say because of just the progress you want to see over, these last stretches of games before the playoffs?
We got a lot of work ahead of us. Tomorrow's going to be a good off day. We're going to have a great practice on Monday. Tough one against the Lakers. They're playing good basketball. Tough road trip coming up. I'm not worried about statements. I'm worried about just going out there, playing our best basketball, trying to play our best basketball, putting the best work possible, and find our best version of ourselves. You're going to hear me probably say that for the next 2-3 weeks, and then hopefully find it sooner rather than later. Great. Thanks, everybody.